This is a very quick video looking at the next candidate for the game. This is the Dark Valley from GMT, Eastern Front Campaign 1941 to 1945. This is a little, what's called a mini monster, and probably with good reason. Now, one of the reasons I picked this is because it covers the whole campaign from 41 to 45. Like virtually all the Russian front games only cover the campaign from 1941 to 1944. This one can take you all the way to Berlin if you want to, whereas most of them usually stop somewhere around Warsaw or somewhere like that. Now the odd thing is the counters, because I've been playing with games with big counters like World of War 85, GTS, CSS, and oh, there's another one I've been playing, well, I forget for the time, but they've all got monster sized counters, whereas these are absolutely tiny little things. Quite cute in their own way. But being small doesn't really matter because they're very, very basic. They've got an attack factor and a movement, attack and defense factor and movements. What I'm going to do to start this off is I'm not particularly familiar with this system, although I have played Dark Sands, which didn't work for me basically because I thought it was at too high a scale. There just wasn't enough. You got very, very few units fighting over very large maps. I didn't like it, and it just reminded me, well, I'd rather be playing Das Afrika Korps 2 than playing that. Now this one, I don't know, as I say, I don't really know this system, so what I'm going to do is probably just, let's play out. We'll play out the Baltic front and just see how it goes, and then we'll reset everything, just so I get a grip of how it all works and the mechanics and everything, because apparently it's a bit difficult for the Germans to win this. Well, it was a bit difficult for them to win it historically, but it's a bit difficult for them to actually avoid losing in the early war, because there's like a set number of victory points that you've got to total up before, and if you don't reach that by a certain date in 1941, you automatically lose. Now, even if I did get into that situation, I wouldn't abandon it, but I just want to see whether we can get a Russian front game that actually plays out a bit more historically. I've played a few of them, and you either end up with the Germans just get absolutely nowhere, or the Germans absolutely can wipe the Russians off the map. Whereas historically what you had was that the Germans did really, really well, absolutely flattened the Russians in the first 3 or 4 months, and then gradually they went into a period of stalemate, even though Frau Blau actually did make a lot of territorial gain. In the end, it achieved absolutely nothing. From then on, the stalemate sort of continued all the way up to Kursk. From Kursk onwards, it was just a tide of Russians' advances getting more and more powerful, until the Germans, to be quite honest, the Germans would have lost the war pretty much without the Allies ever getting into Germany from the west. So let's give it a go and see how it plays out.